Hey, 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 it is your girl LaTonya here. And I wanted to stop in today and I wanted to talk about some of the common mistakes that people who are stepping out into the industry, they want to build a brand. They're looking to step out from their 9 to 5 job and have a hustle on the side. They're looking to create a small business, or it could be that they're this business professional working for a company or entrepreneur, and really trying to figure out what it is that they need to do. And so, with that, you all, I wanted to begin here and begin to talk about some of the common mistakes that people make when trying to quote unquote build their brand. One of the mistakes that people begin to make, you all, is especially if you're on a social media platform, which literally gives you the ability to reach a greater audience. We are on the internet. These are social media platforms. What are these social media platforms here for? They're here for you to socialize. They're here for you to be able to communicate. So what begins to happen a lot of times when people say, okay, I want to build my brand, we go and we grab our logos and, oh, it's beautiful. And then we go and get some business cards made and, oh, this is wonderful. Now, oh, this is my brand. Well, guess what? It's not. It's not yet, because remember that brand is how people perceive you. Now, you can have a personal brand, and remember, it's how people perceive you to be, whether you're a nice person, whether you are a negative individual, whatever that thing might be, you might make people laugh. People remember you by making them laugh and putting a smile on your face. That's your personal brand. All right. But now we're talking about when we're going into the business arena, evaluating, people need to know, what is it that you do? And then in that, you have to get very, very clear, and you have to develop a clear message. Plus, that should be something that you love doing. And it is something that is a necessity in the marketplace, whether it is to inspire people, whether it is to educate people, whether it is to entertain people. One of those things you have to become very, very clear on those areas. And then being clear on who it's going to benefit. What is it that I do? What is it that my brand does will be beneficial to a particular audience? All right. We're going somewhere. We're going somewhere. And we're not going to go quickly. We're not going quickly into the night either. But I want you all to begin to think about these things, because the mistakes we begin to make is we put the cart before the horse before literally developing a brand strategy. What is it that I do? Am I very, very clear on that thing? You have to begin to write those things out. And who is this going to benefit? Because a lot of times when we're building our brand, you all, people begin to think all I need to do is promote, create this flyer, put my information out, and the flocks will come a running. Well, guess what? They might run the first time, but they may not stay. Why is that? Because I haven't been strategic in developing my foundation, developing my brand, and then adding some marketing to building of my brand. Marketing and branding go together. They're still two separate things, because your brand is your brand, the perception of how people see you. And marketing is that process of putting that brand out in the marketplace to promote it. All right. Woo! This is sounding good to me. I'm going to go and brush my shoulders off. But with that, you guys, we have to be mindful of those common mistakes that we're making. Another thing we have to be mindful of is in building our brand. Remember, we have to understand where our people are, what do they love to do, It could be a certain demographic. At the end of the day, it really as well is going to be focused in on what are their interests? What do they love? What is their pattern? What are their behaviors? What do they talk about? And a lot of times we're able to understand people more and more once we get a defining um, equation of what we're doing, who we want to connect to. And then what we begin to do, you all, we begin to pay close attention to the attributes of the people that may have become part of what it is that we do. It could be that they have come to an event. Evaluate, what do they like? What do they love doing? What is their educational background? Do they have children? Are they married? All right. Now, am I beginning to see a pattern? Once again, am I beginning to see a pattern of the people who show up? All right. You gotta do that, you all, because we're talking about longevity when we're building our brand. And then we have to begin to go back and say, okay, if this is what's happening and I begin to see the pattern, now what else can I provide? What is the desired outcome that I can provide for them? Once again, do they look to be inspired? Are they looking for to be educated? It could be you're now developing a YouTube channel that provides tutorials. Maybe it's just entertainment where I have these events every month. I'm putting together an event where women can come together and just network with one another. What is that thing? You have to know it, you all. We have to be able to give ourselves time to go through the process, but we got to dig up that ground first and foremost, and we got to make sure that foundation is in order. Now, we then have to be able, you all, to put together the content that's going to keep people coming back for more and for more and for more. And so with this, as I always talk about, you all know, I love the customer journey and I love developing customer journey maps because it begins to show you, as I say, the circle of life. Because at the end of the day, we have to first start out, you all, with people getting to know us. What is that? That's called, quote unquote, brand awareness. How do they begin to know us? That means we have to consistently show up in order for them to know us. We can't automatically think that people are going to purchase from us or become members of a community or purchase a membership when they really don't know us. You already know, we don't just jump in everything, all right? Unless it could be an influencer that we really have put our trust in. They've been consistent. Same thing has to go for you. So we talk about brand awareness, you all, they have to get to know you. So you have to begin to put together things and you have to begin to say, okay, my niche audience is over here. And so I need to show up over here. I need to be consistent in me showing up. And I need to be able to provide for them what they need, what they're looking for, the desired outcome. See, now I have to get out my pad and my pencil. I have so much work that I need to do because guess what? It's a process. It is, repeat with me, it's a process. All right. So you got to give yourself time. This is why a lot of times when we ask people, what is your vision in 3 years from now? What do you see yourself in 6 months? Because you all, it has to start somewhere. There's a process in the midst of it all. And so with that, brand awareness is the first thing. What am I going to talk about? I have to begin to develop the content that people are searching for and what it is that they need. This is why for us, we begin to utilize keywords. All right. So now we've gotten clear on what it is that we're looking to do in the market. Now I'm getting clear on what I do is who it's going to benefit. Now I need to begin to develop the content that's going to keep them coming back for more and more because they're still getting to know me. The more and more I begin to put out the content by utilizing the wording or keywords, a lot of times, and I want you all to write these things down. When we talk about keywords, there are places that you can go and figure out what keywords most people are searching for. We talk about Moz, M-O-Z, is one of the resources. Google Keyword Planner is another resource. Ahrefs, Ahrefs is another resource. There are multiple other resources that we can begin to look at in order to find out what people are searching for. We go to Google Trends. There are different things. We can even go to what's called Answer the Public. Answer the Public. And you begin to type in things within your industry and ask, look at what are people looking for, or type in certain words, and it's going to begin to spit out for you what people search for. Now, when you begin to understand what people are searching for, it helps you develop your content. It helps you being able to be found more on the social media platforms. All right. But you have to give it time to do so. And even if you are looking to promote a product or a service, because literally that is what marketing is. That is what social media marketing is. That is regular marketing. What maker marketing is. We talk about regular marketing. We call it the 5 P's: price, product, people, placement. I think I forgot one. When we talk about social media, we're talking about content. We're talking about community. We're talking about connections. We're talking about channels, communication. They're similar. It's just that social media has come into play where you're now able to connect to people quicker and you're able to connect to them more without literally having a billboard or having to be in front of their face. But you're able to connect, but you got to know how to connect. You got to be able to be patient enough to develop the things that you need to develop in building your brand. So you're not making the common mistakes of falling. You might get a quick hit, but guess what? That mess might fizzle out. Once again, you want consistency and you want to grow. So how do I map out the ways in which I can grow? All right. Then you got to ask questions. What are people looking for? Whether it is you're looking to develop a membership, sell a product, I need to be talking about that thing that I'm doing. All right. I need to be sharing and I need to be so engulfed in that thing that when people see me, they know this is what she does. All right. And so you have to be mindful because you want people to see you that way. Everything, you guys, at the end of the day, especially when you're trying to do something, has to be strategic. Now, I know that for many of you all are working at 9-to-5 job and you got that side hustle because you want to do something different, or you still are trying to figure out how I need to make ends meet. Some of you all are of course, small business owners, and you stepped out there, but you're still trying to figure out what it is that you're trying to do, or business professionals trying to land that new job. But there are things that we have to put in place and we have to be understanding of, and we have to develop the patience to make sure we have this foundation. So when we step out into the marketplace, and we literally have strategically put together our brand. Remember, we have to have brand identity. How do people identify me by? It could be, at the end of the day, identify. Okay, LaTonya loves red. LaTonya loves red. Identify LaTonya. But there are other parts to brand identity. All right. It could be your brand voice, the tone in which you speak. It could be a slow cadence. It could be a quick cadence. Your brand voice. What is it that you're saying? to the masses, all right? And then, of course, your brand positioning. How are you positioned in the minds of the people you come in contact with, maybe face to face, or the people that see you out in the marketplace that you may never meet, but they want what it is that you have to offer? How are you willing and how much work are you willing to do in order to position yourself in the marketplace? I'm not going to lie to you. It's work. It is research. It will take some money. It will take you doing things that you may never done before. That means you're coming out of your comfort zone. All these things, you all, but at the end of the day, it's going to be well worth it for you. And so I wanted to just jump in and talk about those things just to start. We're going to be talking about different things from developing the content. How do I turn people that I meet into an actual customer? What do I need to do to build a community? What do I need to do, or what do I need to have in place in order to develop my content? Who do I need? How do I do this? How much money am I looking to make in 3 months? All these things go into place, but everything, you all, is about strategy, and it is about you being intentional, and then it's about you literally, it's time management, and you really telling yourselves, I'm going to make this happen. There's no plan B. It's going to happen. And we have to begin to look at these things. All right. So I'll be back for more, but we're going to start there because I got a lot to give. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.